What if I told you one of the most explosive players in NBA history might actually be one of the most misunderstood superstars we've ever seen? A guy who jumped over a car, shattered backboards, and made defenders look like props. But somehow, people still debate whether he was ever truly elite. Was prime Blake Griffin just a highlight machine? Or was he a legitimate MVP-level force that history is slowly forgetting? Because when you really break it down, his prime was way more dangerous and way more complete than most people remember. Blake Griffin entered the NBA like a controlled explosion. Before he even played a single regular season game, the hype was already nuclear. Drafted first overall in 2009, comparisons ranged from Karl Malone to Amare Stoudemire, but even those didn't fully capture what he was about to become. Then injuries delayed his debut, and when he finally stepped on the court in 2010, it didn't feel like a rookie season. It felt like a takeover. Blake Griffin's official rookie year, 2010 to 2011, wasn't just good. It was absurd. He averaged 22.5 points, 12.1 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists per game. That stat line alone puts him in rare company, but the numbers don't even tell the full story. Every night, Griffin played like he was trying to dunk through the entire league. Putbacks, posters, fast break finishes that looked like something out of a video game with the sliders broken. Defenders weren't just getting scored on, they were getting humiliated. And it wasn't just role players either. Centers, veterans, defensive anchors, didn't matter. Blake attacked everyone the same way, violently, relentlessly, and without hesitation. He made the Clippers relevant again almost overnight. And not just relevant, must watch. Here's where things start to get misunderstood, because early Blake Griffin gets reduced to one thing: dunks. And yes, he might be the greatest in-game dunker the league has ever seen. But that's not all he was. Even in his early years, Blake showed flashes of something deeper. His ball handling, way above average for a power forward. His passing, underrated from the start. He could grab a rebound, push the ball coast to coast, and initiate offense like a guard. That wasn't normal in the early 2000s. This was before the league fully embraced positionless basketball, before bigs were expected to facilitate. Blake was doing it ahead of the curve. Then came Lob City. Chris Paul arrives in 2011, and suddenly the Clippers aren't just entertaining, they're dangerous. The chemistry between CP3, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan created one of the most iconic eras in NBA history. Alley-oops became routine, highlights flooded social media, and Blake became the face of it all. But here's the thing. Lob City might have actually hurt Blake Griffin's legacy because it turned him into a spectacle. People saw the dunks, the celebrations, the viral clips, but they didn't always see the evolution happening underneath. If you want to understand how good Blake Griffin actually was, you have to look at the 2013 to 2014 season. This wasn't just peak athleticism anymore. This was polished dominance. Blake averaged 24.1 points, 9.5 rebounds, 3.9 assists, and he finished third in MVP voting. That's not hype. That's elite production at the highest level. But what made this season different was how he scored. His post-game became refined. His mid-range jumper, reliable. His face-up game, lethal. Defenders couldn't just sag off anymore. They couldn't just wait in the paint. If you gave him space, he'd hit the jumper. If you got too close, he'd blow past you. If you sent help, he'd find the open man. He wasn't just overpowering people anymore. He was reading them. One of the most overlooked aspects of Blake Griffin's prime is his passing, and not just good for a big man. We're talking genuinely high-level playmaking. He consistently averaged around 4 to 5 assists per game during his peak. The Clippers' offense often ran through him, not just around him. He'd operate at the elbow, dissect defenses, and deliver precise passes. Backdoor cuts, kickouts to shooters. Quick reads out of double teams. This wasn't accidental. This was intentional offensive design. At times, he functioned almost like a point forward. And again, this was happening before it became trendy. Before Giannis, before Jokic redefined big man playmaking. Blake was laying groundwork in his own way. Now we get to the part that complicates everything, the playoffs. Because for all the talent, all the production, all the highlights, the Clippers never reached the Western Conference Finals during the Lob City era. And that matters. Fair or not, it shapes perception. There were injuries, there were collapses, there were series where things just unraveled. The 2015 collapse against the Rockets stands out the most, up 3-1, in control, and then it slipped away. Blake still had strong performances in that run, but in the eyes of many it wasn't enough, because greatness historically gets measured in postseason success, and that's where the narrative around Blake starts to shift. As his athleticism began to decline due to injuries, something interesting happened. Blake Griffin didn't fade away. He adapted. By the time he got to Detroit, he was a completely different player, less explosive, but more skilled, more cerebral, more versatile. In the 2018 to 2019 season, he averaged 24.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, 5.4 assists, and added a legitimate three-point shot to his game. That version of Blake was almost unrecognizable from his early years. No longer just a dunker. Now he was spacing the floor, creating offense, and carrying a team in a different way. It wasn't as flashy, but it was arguably more impressive in terms of skill. Here's the honest answer. Prime Blake Griffin was a top 5 player in the NBA at his peak. Not for a decade, not with sustained dominance like LeBron or KD, but for a window? Absolutely. He combined elite scoring, high-level rebounding, advanced playmaking, unmatched athletic explosiveness, and later, shooting, floor spacing, offensive versatility. That's a rare combination. So why doesn't he get talked about like other stars from his era? A few reasons. First, no finals appearances. Second, Lob City overshadowed individual greatness. Third, injuries cut his peak shorter than it should have been. And fourth, the game evolved so fast that what he pioneered got absorbed and redefined by the next generation. Players like Giannis, Zion, and even Jokic in a different way. They carry pieces of what Blake was doing, but because they came later, and in some cases went further, it makes Blake's impact feel smaller in hindsight. Even though at the time, it was massive. Blake Griffin wasn't just a highlight reel. He wasn't just the guy who jumped over a car. He was a legitimate superstar who evolved his game, carried teams, and helped reshape what a power forward could be. At his best, he was unstoppable in multiple ways. Not just physically, but mentally and skillfully. And while his legacy might not be wrapped in championships, it's built on something else. A peak that was explosive, dynamic, and far more complete than most people remember. So the next time someone says Blake Griffin was just a dunker, you already know. That's not even close to the full story. If you want more NBA stories like this, the rises, the falls, and the moments that changed everything, subscribe to Scripted Sports.